Hopefully that will stay there. So good morning, Vicki. Hi, Namita. And I'm not sure if Mary was jumping on. Usually she does, but it's 10:04, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to our Mindful Flow practice Saturday morning. It's a beautiful day out there. As I said in my note, I hope you have something really wonderful planned or just enjoying the beautiful sunshine and colors, because I think this is going to be one of our peak weekends for color. I know my maple tree is just bursting with golden hues, and I've been enjoying that all week. I hope you have as well. So we're going to begin today laying on our back. Do make sure that you have a strap or something that you can use as a strap, a scarf, a tie, a belt, piece of yarn. Anything that's strong enough to use as a strap is always fine. And today's practice is going to really be a nice heart opener as well as an upper back strengthener. So we are going to begin in a nice passive restorative pose by laying back. You can use a bolster if you wish, but I was just going to suggest making a blanket roll. So mine is, if you can see that on the screen, mine's just rolled up so that it's probably, 4 inches high or so, enough to lay back and get some support in the upper back. So let's go ahead, take this off so you can see a little bit better. I think when I wear black on black, it's a little hard to see that screen. So let's go ahead and lay back. And we're going to bring that blanket roll right in the mid-back region. So your head should be able to rest back comfortably. The nice thing about the blanket roll is it's not so high that it creates any disturbance with the neck, at least not usually. And you can go ahead and bring your arms wherever they're most comfortable. You can bring them overhead if you want an additional stretch through the armpit. You can bring them out to the sides, which will open up your collarbones and neck. Or they can lay on the belly, so just find a comfortable place for your arms. And start to let your body settle down. Begin just arriving in this spot where you are, leaving all the thoughts of what is to come for this day aside. All the thoughts, all the plans, all the needs. Remember that you're exactly where you need to be right now. And that is taking a little bit of time for yourself, attending to your practice. And this is part of the third niyama called tapas. Tapas is our dedication, our practice, our commitment to ourselves that places importance on the act of showing up and doing so regularly. So start to feel that lift in the upper back, the heart reaching upward toward the ceiling, or if you want to imagine the sky above. Feel the energy of the heart reaching upward into the heavens. Let the muscles of your face be soft and slack. Let your eyes drop down into their sockets. Let the rest of your body soften and melt lower. quietly, perhaps create an intention for your practice today. Maybe it's a mantra, maybe it's just some inspiration that you want to hold for yourself. Dedicate this practice to that intention. Breaths and out breaths. Take 3 more nice, soft, deeply soothing breaths. Lifting and opening your heart. One more right here. And then from here, let's go ahead and just gently roll over to the side. You can remove that blanket support from your back. Lay all the way down. Flatten out your back, and let's bring the knees to a bent position with your feet hip distance apart. So bringing your hands on either side of your hips, palms down, lightly bring awareness to the pads of your fingers and the soles of your feet. Let's inhale together, taking a pelvic tilt and lifting the pubic bone up toward the ceiling on the in-breath. Exhaling softly and slowly and rolling that tailbone all the way down to the tip. Inhale, roll up. Exhale and roll down. And if you will, imagine your breath rolling in and out like a wave. Go ahead and continue that rhythm and that movement with the lower back. If you spend any time at the ocean, you can imagine the wave of your breath rolling in, softly stopping at the pinnacle of that breath, and then rolling back out like the tide. Let's do that twice more. All right, as you exhale on that last breath, the next time you inhale, we're going to press down through the soles of the feet and lift the hips right up off of the mat, coming into a gentle beginning bridge pose. You're going to hold that bridge pose up. Press down through your feet and press your thighs toward the front of the mat. So you're lifting, inner thighs reaching toward each other. One more breath, and then exhale, drop down one vertebra at a time and roll all the way to the tip of the tailbone. Next deep breath in, press up once again to bridge pose. This time bring awareness to your shoulders and press your shoulders down toward the mat as you're lifting the hips up. Feel the collarbones open and widen. Your neck and breath is nice and released. Exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time to the very tip. We're going to lift up one more time to a full bridge pose as you inhale, lifting and reaching. This time, bring your hands underneath your hips, interlace your fingers, and gently press your shoulder blades in toward each other. So your support is coming from the bottom of your feet and from behind your shoulders. Press forearms and shoulders down, squeeze and lift. This is a strong move. One more breath here. Hold it if you can. And then exhale, release your hands, roll down all the way. Come to a neutral spine. We're going to bring the knees into the chest. Hug your knees into your chest. Bring the soles of the feet up toward the ceiling. Slide your hands up the sides of your legs and reach for your shins, ankles, or perhaps the outside of your feet. Press down now using the leverage of the weight of your body to flatten out your entire spine, feeling it from the back of your head all the way down to the lumbar. Knees are dropping out to the side and toward your armpits. Let the hips get a nice little opening here in Ananda Balasana, Happy Baby. One more full breath here. Bring it all the way into the belly. Feel that expansion. Exhale and release. Let your feet come in toward each other. Feet will come down and we're going to roll to one side and roll all the way up. Right, go ahead and extend your legs down the mat. Looks like I gained a little friend here. She won't stay here for long, I'm sure. Press your seat down into the mat. Feel your sits bones grounding you down, and then lift up from the base of your seat all the way up through the spine. See how much length you can bring, just drawing the crown of your head right up toward the sky. Take a deep breath in. Let's lift the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold, keeping your back nice and flat. Drawing your heart up and forward. And continue your fold, but fold your heart toward your feet, not down towards your knees. We're keeping a flat back, even if that means you don't go down very far. One more breath here. Inhale and come up to center. We're going to keep the legs extended. Take the left arm and reach across the body toward the outside of the right shin. Slide that hand down the shin. Maybe you reach for the ankle, maybe the outside of the foot. It doesn't matter how far. Bring your right arm into a T off the shoulder. Start to twist your body to the right, moving your belly, and eventually bringing your arm and shoulder along for the ride. Feel the outside of your right leg, that IT band, get a nice stretch. So my arm is reaching toward the back of the mat, thumb is up. One more breath here. Exhale, slowly come back around. Both arms come up on the next inhale. Exhale and forward fold. Once again, flat back. Awareness of the lumbar spine. Inhale, come back up to center. Right hand is going to reach around to the left side. Slide it to the outside of the lower left leg, ankle or foot. Left arm comes into a T to begin. Straighten up your back, lift up through the spine, and then twist your body to the left. Maybe that arm comes all the way around. It doesn't matter. I want you to feel the stretch and not worry about the shape. Deep breath here. Ooh, that left leg getting a nice stretch. back as well. Inhale, come back to center. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, once again, forward fold, Paschimottanasana. As you're in your forward fold, press your shoulders back and down. Feel the scapula as they roll down toward the lower part of your back. And then inhale, come on back up. We're going to swing the legs around and come into tabletop. Come on up to hands and knees. And let's just take a couple of nice little sweet cat-cows. Just flexing the wave of the spine, inhaling as you drop down into cow, exhaling as you come into cat. Just take 2 or 3 at your own pace here. And then everyone meet back in a neutral spine. All right, from here we're going to take the right knee up off of the mat and just create some circles with that knee, circling the hip around. Bring your awareness to the core and to your navel. Keep the rest of the body stable, and that will help you isolate just through the right hip circle. Nice and slow. And then circle around the other way, whichever direction you started. Rotate the other way. And then on the next time around with that hip circle, you're going to take the knee, cross the right knee over the left. Feet are going to press in opposite directions from their sides. And you're going to walk the hands backwards. Make sure your strap is within grasp. And then if you can, come to sit down in between your feet. If that is not possible, grab yourself a block and place that block or even the blanket underneath your seat to facilitate that seated position. So we have right leg is on top, right knee is on top and stacked over the left. So we're coming into Gomukhasana, which is called cow face. And we're going to grab our strap now. Taking the strap, we're going to toss it over the left side since the left knee is on top. Take the right fingers and coax that left elbow straight up and down. Take a nice deep breath in. Make sure that your seat feels stable and square. And then take the right hand around to the back of the body. Grasp the strap wherever it reaches. And then whatever's comfortable for you, you can walk the fingers up toward each other. Just keep a nice little tension on the strap so you feel the opening, but without pain. So if you're going to a place that creates any kind of pain in the joints, then back off. You've gone too far. Breathe here, 3 breaths. Relax your seat, feel the grounding seat that you've created. 1 more breath. And then release the strap from the right hand, drop the left hand down. Walk your hands back forward again, uncross the legs, and we're going to press back to a child's pose. So neutralize everything here by dropping down straight. Nice deep breath pulls all the way up from the lower back into the crown of the head. Releases down to the mat. Inhale and come on back up. Come to tabletop once again. This time we're going to lift the left knee up. We're just going to go through that same sequence now on the other side. So circle the left hip around. Go a little slowly. The slower you go, the more mindful you can be about where your particular tightnesses might arise. Could be different on one side than the other. And then go ahead and change the direction. Create rotating circles the other way. Really use that gluteus maximus joint, or muscle rather, to control these movements. And then the next time around, we'll cross the left knee over the right. Feet pressed back in opposite sides. Walk the hands backward. And we'll come to sit in between the feet once again. Gomukhasana now on the other side. This time the right knee is on top. So we're going to take that strap. Before you bother with the arms though, make sure that your hips are comfortable and that you have a comfortable seat. Take the strap and throw it over your right shoulder. Left fingers, slowly coax that right elbow up. See if you can get a nice stretch under the tricep. And then we'll bring the left arm around, reach the strap, walk the fingers toward each other to the extent that that's comfortable for you to maintain. And then we'll take our breaths here. So think about lifting the heart up, opening up the front side of the body, the pectoralis. Shoulder blades behind are dropping down. Release down into your seat. Relax your hips. One more breath. All right, release the strap with the left hand. You can toss that strap off to the right. Walk your hands forward once again. Come back to tabletop. And then press back to a nice child's pose. A couple of really nice breaths here. Once again, I love to think about drawing the breath up from the seat, feeling it travel over the spinal cord and the head, and then release your out breath down to the earth. Perhaps revisit your intention that you made for practice today. All right, come on up. On your next in-breath, come up to tabletop. From our tabletop position, we're going to move into a low runner's lunge. So we're going to take the right foot forward, bring that foot in between the hands, have your blocks handy for your low lunges. Lift the left knee up, and then we're going to stay in the lunge just for a breath or two, just feeling the legs get a little stretch here since they haven't done a lot of work yet. Maybe even rock back and forth slightly, feeling the Achilles get a little stretch. Lift up your heart. And then from this low runner's lunge, we're going to drop the heel of the left foot down and stand all the way up, moving directly into warrior one. So lift those arms up and over. Come into a really mindful warrior one where you're squaring the hips. You may even need to draw the belly slightly to the right. Arms are reaching up, but press your shoulders down the back. This is a really subtle transition, but makes all the difference in the world. Because you're not reaching up to try to grab someone. You're just allowing the arms to raise, but you're pressing the shoulders down. Your tailbone is reaching down toward the earth. Take a nice breath in. Exhale and bring your hands back down to the blocks. Bring that left knee down and come back to tabletop. Lift your knees up. Let's press back to one downward facing dog. Stretch and extend the spine. Oh, that feels good first thing of the day. And then come forward, come back down to your knees. Left foot comes between the hands. Lifting up through the right knee. Let's play with that little introductory lunge to begin. Just feeling your pelvic floor engage. Back of the right thigh lifts up. And maybe rock back and forth again, just loosening up that right leg, slowly lowering and raising the heel. From here, we're going to come into our warrior one once again. So we'll drop the right heel down. Right toes are pointing up to the right corner of the mat in an angle. And then lift yourself up. Once again, settle into this warrior. Let's take a moment and really mindfully pay attention to our foundation and alignment. So a lot of times the hips are kind of pointing off to the right side. Square them by drawing your belly slightly to the left. Shoulders are lifted, heart is open, but your shoulder blades slide down your back. Nice breath here. Exhale, bring the hands back down, drop the right knee, bring the left foot back, and we'll once again press back to downward facing dog. From downward facing, we'll walk forward to the front of the mat. Come to a forward fold, Uttanasana. Let the head hang down. Release anything that you might have been holding in the neck. Give it a couple of yes/no shakes, maybe even sway side to side. Enjoy this beautiful feeling of letting go. Inhale, let's slide the hands up to the shins. Come to a flat back. In our flat back position, really pay attention to, again, your shoulders and shoulder blades, and press them back toward the back of the mat. Take one additional breath here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, this time we're going to come all the way up. Arms are going to reach up and then out and bring them to goddess arms. So your elbows and shoulders are the same height, as you can see. From this position, we're going to round the back. Bring those arms forward, really round generously through the back. And then inhale, bring them back to goddess, opening them. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, come back to goddess, lift. One more time. And then bring your arms straight up. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale and fold. Step back, downward facing dog. From downward facing, we're going to come down to hands and knees once again. Bring your blanket back around wherever you have that. And let's unroll the blanket and bring our knees out on the blanket, because we're going to come onto a kneeling position, and that will make it a little bit more comfortable. So with your blanket under your knees, also grab your blocks. We're going to bring the blocks back behind or on the outside of each foot. So we're going to move right into a camel position this morning. So camel asks us to create the foundation first with the lower part of the body. So my tailbone is reaching down, my core is engaged. With this nice firm foundation, I'm going to lift my heart up. I'm going to press the shoulders down, and first just bring your hands to either side of the body. Take a breath here and imagine that your hands have weights on them. And those weights are pulling your fingers down with even more than the usual gravitational pull. So this is really loosening and releasing the muscles of the neck. One more breath right here. And then we're going to take the right shoulder first. Actually, before we do that, let's just do a couple of shoulder rolls, forward and back. Make sure everything is nice and loose to begin. And then go ahead and just leave the left hand down. We're gonna roll the right shoulder down. So we're gonna roll it back and down. And we're gonna reach that right hand down toward where we placed the right block. Lifting up with your chest, left arm reaches straight up toward the ceiling. Open up your heart, roll that right shoulder back, and then reach it back as you create a back bend, and your right fingers can reach toward the right block. Keep lifting through the heart. Keep squeezing the right shoulder blade to the center. Inhale and come straight back up, lower the left arm. Proceeding to half camel or Ustrasana on the other side. We're gonna roll the left shoulder back. So we get that left shoulder in position so it's ready to reach toward the block. Then the right arm reaches straight up. And then begin to open up the heart, create a little back bend as you bring the left fingers down, reaching toward wherever you place that left block. So this is two opposing forces. You're lifting through the heart as you're reaching the left fingers down. One more breath here. Squeeze that left shoulder back. And then inhale, come back up. Both hands come down. Let's round to the back. Come forward and just press into a little child's pose. Let the neck come all the way down. All right, inhale, come back to hands and knees. Go ahead and we can remove the blanket. Bring your blocks back to the front of the mat so we can use those in the rest of the practice. All right, go ahead and lift your knees up. We're going to press back to downward facing dog. And from downward dog, walk the feet up to the front. Come to Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms are going to reach overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down and around the back of the body. Interlace the fingers. Just as we've done in previous parts of this practice, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together in the back. Press your knuckles down toward the floor. Lift the heart. This is a great opening for the front part of the body, strengthening the pectoralis, squeezing the muscles of the upper back between the shoulder blades together. Nice deep breath here. Lengthen your tailbone down toward the mat. Don't let it curve up and back. And then we're simply going to fold forward halfway. You can rest your hands on the lower back if you wish. You'll still be squeezing the shoulder blades together. Or you can lift those hands off the back. And if you wish, fold forward a little deeper, perhaps raising those arms and fists up toward the ceiling. Keep squeezing, lowering the head. Breathe deeply here. And then slowly bring your head back up. Let your hands rest on the lower back as you complete your rise to the top. Release your fingers. Arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your sides. Take a breath in your grounding mountain pose. Perhaps close the eyes. Revisit your intention for practice today. All Great. Go ahead and open your eyes if you had them closed. We're going to step back with the left foot coming into Warrior One. Once again, we're going to flow a little bit now and move the body. Reach the arms straight up. Lift the chest. And then exhale. Bring your hands to airplane arms. Flatten your back. So just come to a halfway down, flattening the back. And then we're going to sweep the hands down, just brushing the mat. And then inhale, come back up. So we're going to do that a little bit more quickly this time. Exhale, hands to airplane arms. Exhaling as you come to a flat back, sweep the hands down. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, airplane arms, flat back. Sweep and inhale, lift. This time, exhale, bring your hands around to the back of the body. We're going to move right into Humble Warrior now. So create that fist behind your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the heart. Take a nice deep breath in and then exhale. Come into Humble Warrior. You're going to fold over that right front leg. Up to you to decide how far you fold. You can come to a flat back or you can drop that left shoulder down, reaching toward your foot with your head and then lifting your arms even higher. So those are all options. Nice deep breath here. Legs are steady and strong. Slowly use that core strength to lift yourself back up. Release your hands. Come back to Warrior One. Exhale. We're going to reach forward toward your blocks. Hands are going to come to the blocks. I would suggest having them on the high side. And then we're just going to bring the weight into the right leg as we shift forward, lifting the left leg up and then folding over the right leg, coming into standing splits. So your left leg can reach way up, or it can come halfway, or it can just barely come off the ground. Once again, honor your body for where it is today. Bring that left leg down next to the right. Exhale, fully forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. And then exhale, hands come down to your side. We're going to step back with the right leg this time, stepping right into Warrior One. So create that good alignment that we practiced at the first part of the class. Knee tracking over ankle, thighs nice and strong. Lift your arms up. Lengthen the tailbone down. Feel your warrior strength. And then exhale, we're going to come to airplane arms, forward fold halfway, sweep the hands toward the mat, inhale and lift. Exhale, airplane, flat back, sweep, inhale and lift. One more time, airplane, fold, sweep, and lift. From our Warrior One now, we're going to bring the arms out as we exhale, round to the back of the body, preparing for Humble Warrior. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, lift the heart, and then begin to descend, coming into a flat back, deciding how far down you want to bring your head and upper body. Just go at your own pace. Maybe you come beyond the knee, maybe not. If you do, see if you can, no matter where you are, see if you can keep your knuckles pressing upward. Use your breath, use your strength. And then slowly, strongly come back up. Release the hands. Come back to Warrior One. Hands are now going to come forward, reaching toward the blocks. Bring the weight into the left leg. Lift the right leg up. Standing splits on this side. Right leg Slowly comes down next to the left, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale and fold. Step back to downward facing dog. And then inhale, come down to tabletop. From our tabletop position, we're going to take the right hand and forearm down underneath, elbow underneath the shoulder. Left arm is going to reach forward, melt your heart down, come to Anjaneyasana, Anahatasana, and just let the heart drop down toward the mat. Left hand is reaching forward as far as it'll go to really open up underneath that left armpit. Think about opening up the scapula, opening up the upper back. One more deep breath here. Slide that left hand back. Come on up to tabletop position. And we're going to reverse that on the other side. So left forearm down, right hand reaches forward. Slide it as far as you can. Pull yourself with your fingers so you really get that stretch all down the right side, and then bring your forehead down on top of your arm. Let your heart just reach toward the earth. One more breath here. Inhale, slide the right hand back. Press yourself back up to tabletop. And we're going to move into hare, which is a great counter for all of the deep back bending we've been doing. So in hare position, we're going to actually press up first into a really tall cat stretch. So think about the scariest Halloween cat you can create with your back. Bring your chin to your chest. From this cat stretch, we're going to keep that stretch, keep that arch just as it is, but we're going to start to walk the hands backward toward the knees. So keep your back in that position, walk your hands backwards until they're in front of your knees, and then start to bend your elbows and lower the crown of your head down toward the mat. So we're going to bring the top of the head down just to where it's touching, but we're not bringing any weight. You're just almost letting it hover right there at the edge of the mat. Keep pressing upward with your arch. And then you can decide if you want to bring your hands around to the back of your body. As if you can maintain your upper back position and bring your hands around. Maybe you can grasp your feet. Alternative, if you can maintain the body, is to bring the hands around to the back. Once again, interlace the fingers and then raise the knuckles up toward the ceiling. So this is the full expression of rabbit or hare. Being mindful not to dump into your neck or the weight down onto the head. One more breath here. Keep squeezing the shoulders together if you've raised the arms. I can't see you all, so just gonna coach you through it. All right, release the hands down. Bring them down on either side of your head. Gently press up. Woo, that's a rush to the head. And then let's just sit back in hero's pose. Let everything come back to equilibrium. How are you all feeling? Feel good? I hope. All right, so let's come on forward. We'll come down to our seat. And I want to make sure everybody can hear me okay, right? I changed a little something with my settings. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I was doing a lot of talking there and hoping that all of that's coming through. Prashanti had said earlier it was coming in and out, so I wanted to make sure that was clear. All right, we're just going to go ahead and lay all the way back and flatten out everything from the upper part of the spine and the head all the way down to the lumbar. You're going to lift the knees up, lift the feet up, and you're going to bring the feet together and flex the feet. You don't have to hold them in a hard flex, just keep them generally a little flexed. And we're going to see if we can just balance the legs right on top of the hips. Might help to bring your hands really close to your hips, to your body, sometimes bringing your thumbs a little bit underneath the lower back or the hips helps a little bit with balance, but we're coming into waterfall pose. And once you've maintained the proper alignment here, so you don't want the legs coming forward too much, and you want them to really be just straight up and down. Hopefully mine look that way. And then just try to relax. Enjoy this inversion of bringing the lower part of the body higher than the upper part. Press down through your hands if that helps to create stability. And then let's go ahead and bend the knees. Bring the feet down one at a time. Your arms into a T off the shoulder. Let's separate the feet by bringing them to the outer edges of the mat and drop both knees over to the left. Come into a windshield wiper posture. Both shoulders are down. Just relax everything here. Proud of yourself for making it through this practice, for showing up on a Saturday. I'm sure there's many other things that you also have to attend to. Inhale, bring the knees up to center, and let's drop both legs over to the right. Remembering that this showing up, just the act of following through on this commitment to yourself, whether it's with this practice or maybe just with a daily meditation. Following the third principle, the third niyama, as outlined in the 8-limb path for yoga in the Yoga Sutras. All right, bring those knees back up to center. If you have that blanket nearby from where we were using it before, go ahead and bring it back here, and we're going to slide it right underneath the hips. Just going to do a little bit of a psoas release, a supported bridge. We started off with an active bridge in the first part of class. We're just going to bring a folded blanket underneath the hips. And just for a minute or two, extend both legs out. And your arms can be up overhead. Again, arms can be anywhere that they feel comfortable for you right now. We just want to feel, just as we did at the beginning with the elevation of the heart, we want to allow ourselves to feel the elevation of the hips and the counter stretch on the hip flexors and psoas. So just a little bit of restoration here. See if you can soften the body down. Release and relax the legs. Find solace and focus in your breath. Take 5 more breaths here. Slide your feet up. Lift up with your hips. Bring that blanket out from underneath. And we'll let the body sink all the way down. Flattening out into a peaceful Shavasana. Thoughts of your day want to pop back in your mind before we complete with this. Don't chastise yourself, but just acknowledge that they are there. Acknowledge that you'll come back to them. Just offer yourself these next beautiful minutes. Calm and peace. yourself back to your place. Perhaps offering movement with the fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. As you're ready, bend your knees, draw them into the chest. Give yourself a beautiful hug. As you're ready, roll yourself up. And join me in closing practice. Take a deep breath in, bring the arms up. Exhaling, palms down to the heart center. This practice bring you peace and calm and restoration as you move through the rest of your day. Thank you so much for practicing this morning. Om Shanti. Namaste.